what would want to ask?
Useless.
You know, tell me, now maybe we have guns, but do we have police? Because I mean, all our meetings, you never see their meetings of Linda Oburu. Linda Ground.
No, not Oburu. Oburu is a party. Linda Ground.
Linda Ground. We never see them together, isn't it? But all our
Linda Oburu. Linda Oburu.
Linda Oburu and Linda Ruto'S. You never see tear gas. You saw on that Wetima attack, and by the way, even before you say that we have to spend a lot of money, when Rigathi Gachagua went to the US, remember, I personally, you not call me a billionaire like Ogenda. You can't say of the same, like maybe you can call him a rich man. His father was
no. I'm a chicken farmer.
Okay, maybe he's a chicken farmer, but if he's a chicken farmer, maybe a mere man.
Saying Ogenda's a billionaire.
Yes,
I mean, okay.
Tom is big. He made his money before coming to.
Let me say this. I mean, even him, his farm was being paid a lot of money even before he came to. He came to
can we focus?
When he's okay, billionaire. When Rigathi Gachagua went to the US, I personally did like maybe 30 rallies by myself. You saw me tear gas in Subukia. I went all the way to Nakuru. We went to Wetima, to Muranga when we were just almost being killed. We went all the way to Laikipia. I know because I have been and I have ran these rallies. First, because not many people love William Ruto, especially from the region that I come from. It is very easy to put crowds. They just want to hear what you want them. Okay, they just come and they will come and sing with us and those kind of things. But the thing that we would want to ask, what is this nexus between goons and police? Because in Wetima, you saw it. And even when we went to the Inspector General, when we went to his office, before he ran away the second time, he actually admitted, indeed, that 2 police Land Rovers went to attack Rigathi Gachagua in Wetima, right from Nairobi. You saw goons walk hand in hand with the police. Even before we get the goons, Jeff, why can't William Ruto allow? Everybody has freedom of association. Yeah. Everybody should be able to campaign the best way they
within the law.
In fact, what I say is this: if William Ruto and his two-term people want to come to campaign in my village in Jambini, if I think they have really hurt my ego and emotion, because I think that is what really hurts William Ruto when we tell him that indeed you have this presidency and we are the people. Actually, Ogenda, on this bench, I'm not sure of the person who is on the extreme left, but at least I know on this bench I might be the only person who voted for William Ruto. You never voted for him. I voted for him. You didn't vote for him.
I didn't
vote for him. I don't know of the guy on the
Prof.
I highly suspect. But even so,
and you left him.
So if the president and his team were to come to Jambini, they should say no goons.
No, you leave them.
Have goons.
No.
Jeff, I have a contrary opinion. I think Parliament, in this case, the National Assembly, under Article 95, with obligations, legislative oversight and representation, and Senate under Article 96, have a duty, 1, to enact law, and we are doing very well in that regard. Number 2, representation. We represent and raise the issues that touch on the public. I think we do quite a good job there. Now, oversight is where there's a problem. And oversight, because we are oversighting governors and people feel that they should not be oversighted. And if you look at the chapter on public finance, chapter 12 of the Constitution, it's our old framework. And that framework is intended to build, to ensure that devolution is built as intended by the Constitution. Yeah. And of course, that then, we just voted in, we voted in 420 billion down to counties. My own county got about 8 billion, while that will go to recurrent and other development questions. Jeff, the concern is this. How can governors, and I like what Methwa said, that the oversight years, we've been oversighting years before some of these governors were elected into office. Now we've got to the crucial years when they're in office, and therefore we'll be oversighting questions that they are responsible for. So the excuse of non-appearance, the excuse of blaming another governor who was in office doesn't arise for first-term governors. But I'm not saying that Senate is entirely clean or the National Assembly is entirely clean. I think that it is important for those governors who say that they've been asked for money to name the individual senators or MPs, because they are accomplices. You cannot fund or pay funds to let the legislature look the other side and not be guilty, because both of you are partners in crime. So let them speak and say to whom they gave the money, for what purpose, and what they were trying to cover. Because, because clearly, Jeff, there's at times, and hearing, you find that there's an already coded query of 100 million shillings spent. And maybe then they deal. And so they should say what they're dealing on. But they must appear. If they don't appear, there's a very simple solution. We will simply not vote the money. Jeff, I'm a student of international law because I've studied international law. The Sudanese conflict, the RSF question or fiasco, is delicate and complex. Kenya is a mediator. And to facilitate certain complex travels, passports have been issued. They are not without a just cause. And I think that there is a delicate balance between the integrity of the Kenyan passport and the need to facilitate certain international intercourse. And I think that is the problematic here. Let me not get complex, but the world over, when you have conflicts and the possibility of the lives of certain actors being jeopardized, international law allows a framework amongst nations. There's a practice that has been on for a while, where people belonging to other nations travel under certain passports. So it's just that President Ruto and Kenya is involved in this dispute. And there's the complication.
He can't get a diplomatic passport from his own country?
Do you know the passport your party leader traveled on when he went for asylum?
If you want to study political hypocrisy, I think if there is an example of a person who would be a very good example, you should look straight into the eyes of the Senator for Kisumu, Senior Counsel Professor Tom Ojienda.
You're calling him a hypocrite?
Tom Odhiambo Ojienda, the man seated here. You know why? This man here, I want you to look at the events of, I think, the 19th of October, 2024. Look at what this man said at the floor of the Senate. This man said that he's impeaching Rigathi Gachagua on just one account, that he has called government a corporation of shares. Now he's now speaking about very same thing here. Him and his ODM Asili team are now asking 50% share of government. Him. I'm not speaking about any other person. Him. Now, just wait. You are a member of the ODM Asili. In fact, your own party leader. Actually,
one party leader.
Yeah, you
one party leader.
Yes, you have one.
Buru Odinga.
Yes. Your party leader.
Genzi.
Yes.
Only.
Your party leader actually said that once the NEC has spoken, that is the position of the party, so that is your position. Point number 2. Now Kenya, unfortunately, has become a safe haven for criminals and gangs. You know, Rigathi Gachagua said that President William Ruto has direct interests